Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. Today we are going to take a look at what you can see right here is an EyeToy figure, and as we scroll up you'll get a good idea that we are taking a look at the brand new EyeToy Tyrannosaurus Rex. This is now the male version, as we have previously received the female version, so now we get a chance to look at the Bull Rex. As you can see, the image on the front is just beautiful. A very cool, very high quality box with an absolutely fantastic image of the Rex itself right there. If we take a look at the side, you can see Tyrannosaurus Rex right there, but then if we spin it around all the way to the back, we've got a nice image there next to a man standing down there for scale of the Rex. And then if we come up here, we've got a whole bunch of information all about the Tyrannosaurus Rex and its relation to Jurassic Park and all that fun stuff. So, very similar box to the last box that we had received, but again, retooled for the male version, and again, a very, very cool box, as always provided by EyeToy. So as far as the actual model, we have the base here, then you actually get a tree with it as well. It's kind of a tree stump that's just sticking up out of the ground, which you place in there. Now it's in the ground. And the Tyrannosaurus Rex itself. I just got to get him in the footprints. So there we go. We've got a very good image there of the Rex now on the base. And at first glance, this looks unbelievable. Pretty much just as I expected from EyeToy. They always deliver a very beautiful, very high quality product. And this is no different. The base, the Rex, the entire paint scheme, sculpt, everything really looks beautiful. So let's go ahead, we'll get a closer look and check this newest EyeToy release out. So we have actually reviewed the sculpt of this Rex before, as this is still the same sculpt as the last one. Nothing has really changed. They haven't retooled it in any way or anything like that. So we don't have to describe every little detail, but we will still take a good look at it here. As you can see, the paint scheme is now much more closer to what you see on the male Bull T-Rex compared to the female, which is what we had last time. And the overall sculpting of the head and the very small details honestly looks beautiful. It is extremely highly detailed as far as the sculpt goes, and you can really see that here taking a look at the head sculpt. And again, the actual sculpting of the Rex and the entire body really is beautifully portrayed as a Jurassic Park style T-Rex. I think they pretty much hit the nail right on the head as far as the sculpt goes and the overall appearance of a Jurassic Park style T-Rex. So EyeToy definitely did a great job overall on the sculpt. You can see up here on the head you've got kind of a light green, and there are many different areas of like a black, and you kind of have like a dark black striping that runs down along the upper part of the snout down into the palate a little bit. Very reminiscent of what you do see on the Bull Rex. But even with that, it's kind of like a light green, almost a yellow, and you can see a few shades of green, like a darker green included. And then there's like a tan, you've got like a light brown, then you've got more of a darker black area up here on the lower jaw and up here, and then up around the eye, of course, even up here in the lower part of the upper jaw. So as far as color variation goes, this thing is just loaded to the max with beautiful paint application that really looks very genuine and very realistic. You can also take note to the fact that they have included a very dark wash everywhere, which beautifully brings out all the detail. Look how incredibly nice it looks now with that wash, really making all the detail pop, and again giving the dinosaur figure in general a very realistic look. I think they've really done a great job as far as the usage of a wash. If you look on the inside of the mouth, it's a little hard to see as it's kind of dark in there. Beautifully detailed, really nicely sculpted. The mouth is painted with a very realistic coloration, and you can see as I turn it here, you can really get an idea of the beautiful gloss included. That tongue looks very genuine, very alive. Even on the skin flap here on the side of the jaw, you can really see that very incredible gloss and the insane amount of sculpt and detail that is included. You can actually see tones of color, it looks like, on the tongue itself. So that is very impressive as far as the paint application goes toward that. The teeth are painted with an off-white, so they do look very realistic, much closer to what you would see on a real living animal. They don't appear to be sloppy or anything, so they are really well painted. And if you open and close the jaw, it works perfectly. There are no issues at all as far as that goes. The eyes actually aren't exactly as you see on the Jurassic Park style Rex, so that's kind of cool. It's kind of like EyeToy took their own view of this Rex and gave it a little of their own flavor. It's kind of like a reddish eye, and then there's a yellow area around the pupil, and the pupil is black. It is really nicely done and does include some nice paint application. There is no sloppiness at all on either side to the eye, and it does look like it's looking straight forward at you, so that is also a huge plus. Then as you start to move down the body, you have this yellowish light green kind of pickup, and the black and yellow tend to stripe the upper side of the dinosaur along the spine, which is exactly what you do see on the Rexes in the Lost World Jurassic Park, and actually in Jurassic Park 3. And it does pick up this very nice brighter green, and it's really mixed with a lighter green throughout, actually a few different shades of green it seems, and it gives it a very realistic look as far as skin tone goes. And the color variation just really looks beautiful, and it's applied so wonderfully with, I assume, an airbrush, because it really looks very natural. The arms and everything are really sculpted nicely. Even the underside here has that trademark Jurassic Park style T-Rex sculpt when it comes to the way the scales appear. Lots of creases and wrinkling going on all throughout the sculpt, pretty much everywhere, especially here in the neck. Look at that beautiful wrinkling going on. And again, you can really take note of all the incredible detail thanks to that beautiful wash that they've included that really helps all that detail jump out at you and just looks so much more realistic and genuine. I really see some nice skin folding and wrinkling going on here, and kind of the skin bunching up a little bit as this leg is pushing into the stomach region of the body. Beautiful musculature, and again, just look at the insane amount of sculpt and detail really included throughout this as far as the cracks and creases in the skin. It's just jaw-droppingly gorgeous, and that dark wash really helps for you to take note of that. As you come down the leg, you can see the very nice kneecaps, beautiful calf muscles, and the feet themselves do look really nice as well. The nails are painted beautifully, very nice everywhere you look, and even looking back here, you can see so many variations of colors, kind of like some browns included, or like some dark yellows that run along the edge of the green, where it turns to like a lighter tan type color for the underbelly. Even back there, really looks very nice with the paint application and the many different tones of color used throughout. And you come up to the tail, and again, you can pick up on all those different variations of green that really look fantastic. And as we run out the entire length of the tail, you can see that it does have a nice curve, very natural looking curve, and overall the paint application really looks very beautiful and very real. If we take a look at this side, again, the head sculpt we have already looked at, and the paint and everything, it looks fantastic. You can see so many different variations of color all throughout the head, and then we get back here into the neck, you can really see all the incredible wrinkling going on here. As we get down into the shoulder blade, you can see the shoulder blade protruding from the skin. There's the very nice looking Rex arms. The hands are painted and sculpted nicely along with the nails on the hands. Beautiful, incredible detailing all throughout the stomach region when it comes to the overall skin texture and all the creases and cracks in the skin. It just looks so insanely beautiful. EyeToy really nails it when it comes to the small detailing of their sculpts. You can see the skin pulling here as this leg is stretching back. Very nice attention to detail. The hip bone is beautifully elaborated here. When you run down, you can see the nice musculature again in the leg, calf, and then the beautiful foot sculpt down here. Very nicely painted nails again on that side. There's really no sloppiness when it comes to the paint job of this Rex anywhere. And then we come out the length of the tail again. That really nice looking greenish color runs the entire length of the tail, of course, with the black and kind of yellowish striping that goes along the top of the Rex. And even the underside is really highly detailed, beautifully done. They did not skimp out anywhere on this Rex, and it looks awesome because of it. Then we could take a look at the base, and the base is also fantastic. A very mossy area with like quite a few different shades of green as far as the moss goes, and it kind of appears to have like a muddy area here as well with the footprint here. And everything is just painted so realistically. Even the trees, this tree stump here that's sticking out, just looks unbelievable as far as how realistic it looks. I'm actually going to take that tree right there out, get a closer look here at it. Look at the beautiful paint application all over it. Many different variations of brown and then kind of like a lighter tan dry brushed over it to really make it look very realistic and genuinely look like a real log. Very impressive stuff on the part of EyeToy. And then again, you might be able to get a better view here of this area. Really wonderful as far as the sculpt goes and the overall paint application. And it's so cool to see this being done because they did create a totally new base for this compared to the previous Rex base, which was kind of up on a hill. So it is very nice to have difference as far as that goes and not just have the same base repeated with a different paint job. So everything really is different as far as the base goes. And the underside does have Tyrannosaurus Rex Resurrection and EyeToy 2019 with a beautiful image of the skull right there. To get our Tyrannosaurus Rex to stand, all you need to do is just put his feet in the footprints on the base, and he stands perfectly. And actually, this Tyrannosaurus Rex has such good balance, I actually pointed it out in the last video, that he can balance on 1 foot off of a ledge and everything. It is really incredible how well balanced this Rex is, and it's actually quite amazing to me how good of a job iToy did overall on the balance of this Rex. And to show you guys just how well balanced it is, here is our Rex kind of standing on one of the lights I'm using here for lighting, and look at him just balancing on 1 foot off of there. That is honestly super impressive to me, just how well balanced out this Rex is, and he's not leaning on anything. You can see him there. He's literally just standing there on 1 foot, showing us his incredible balancing act. The Rex also balances and can stand perfectly without the base, so for a size on our Rex standing off of the base, we are looking at about 6.5 inches or about 16 centimeters in height, and for a length, the length of this Rex is pretty long. You're looking at about 15 inches or about 38 centimeters. It's a little tough to really show you guys that, but I can assure you that is exactly how big the Rex is. As far as a length and width on the base, so if we are going from a length, and we're not including the length of that tree, just from the bottom of the base, you can see there it's about 8.5 inches or about 21.5 centimeters, somewhere in that range. And if we go for a width right here, about 5 inches or 13 centimeters. So a very, very nice size as far as the base goes. It's actually really sizable, especially the Rex figure in general is really sizable. If we put the Rex up here on the base, and we go for a height with the Rex on the base, you are now looking at about 7.5 inches or about 19 centimeters. For a size comparison, there is the Papo T-Rex, and you can see that he is actually quite a bit smaller than the iToy Rex. So the iToy Rex really is a very large figure. Look how long it is in general compared to the Papo Rex. The Papo Rex looks really quite small actually in comparison to the iToy Rex, so that's pretty darn impressive to me. And for another comparison, here is the old brown Rex with the new green Rex. They look super cool together and in general are very photogenic and absolutely beautifully sculpted and painted. Continuously, iToy does such an incredible job, and here's proof right here with these two beautiful Tyrannosaurus Rex figures. So I think that this iToy Rex is fantastic. I think the paint application of it looking like a bull Rex isn't exactly to what you see in The Lost World, and I actually really like that because I kind of get the feeling that it's more of like the Lost World male, but in an older version, as he's kind of worn his color down a little bit, especially on the face. He's not quite as vibrant as you see on the face in The Lost World, so it really gives me the opinion and the idea that maybe this is an older version of that Rex, and if that's the case, that is just super cool to have this as like the older kind of grizzled veteran of Isla Sorna. And I think that's such a very cool look overall to this Rex. I think the paint application in general is really, really close to what you do see on the Rex in The Lost World, but just, again, he just has a few little areas where it kind of looks like he's just like that grizzled veteran that's a lot older, similar to how Rexy ages in Jurassic World. She has like a much more dull type of a look compared to the vibrant look she used to have when she was younger, and that's kind of the feeling I get with this male here. It's pretty much what I would expect if we got a new look at Sorna and maybe the Rexes were still alive. This is probably what I would expect the male Rex to look like at this point. So the paint application is really, really well done. I think it really looks very natural, very realistic, and they've done a beautiful job including many different skin tones and color throughout. A lot of paint application is really put into this, and again, that incredible wash, that darker wash they've included, really helps to make this genuinely look very realistic and very alive, and much more high quality than the average dinosaur model. I think the overall sculpt, just like with the last one, really looks beautiful and is wonderfully portrayed here as a Jurassic Park style T-Rex. I think overall they hit the nail straight on the head as far as the sculpt in general goes, and including just incredible amounts of detail. Everything is just off the charts awesome. The base is also fantastic. It is really wonderfully and realistically painted, and it's great to have a different style base than the previous release. And I actually think that this base in general, I kind of like this one a little more than the last one. So this is definitely overall, an excellent set that anybody that is a Jurassic fan or a dinosaur fan in general would definitely eat up and love if you get this in person and take a look at it. This model overall is just fantastic. It's very large and very striking, and something that, again, I think you guys would just absolutely love. So I will include a link in the description to where you can pick this iToy Tyrannosaurus Rex up for yourself. So go ahead, check the description, follow it over, and purchase this Rex today. Again, this is another one of those figures that you will just never in a million years regret buying because it is really, really beautiful in person. So go ahead, buy yourself this awesome 2019 male iToy Tyrannosaurus Rex, but don't forget to please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.